Good morning, students. Yesterday we have studied about history. That how in history we used to see the sources and how sources help us to understand the history. Okay, now we were doing our first chapter from the beginning of time. So okay, yesterday I was not able to give you notes, but today I have made these notes and I have jotted down the important points also. Okay, now see, sources to understand early human history. We have read yesterday that human fossils and stone tools and cave paintings, by these we could discover that which type of people were there, or which type of tools they were using, what type of animals they were having at that time, and food also. Everything we can distinguish, we can know actually, sorry, and we can get to know how old they were. Now fossils are the remains or impressions of very old human which have turned into stone. I have told earlier also that fossils are what? They are the remains or impressions of very old human which have turned into stone. Okay, now how they converted into stone? Okay, I have told you yesterday that sometimes the skeletons or anything, it is trapped inside the lava, or it has been embedded in the rock, embedded, we can say, near the river under the slit. Okay, then from the the fluids, the tree fluid, actually tree sap, we say tree snap. Okay, under this, whenever anything is trapped, it is preserved actually for millions and millions of years. Now, and due to which, if we found that a fossil, we can get to know how old it was. Now, stone tools made and used by early humans are available in various parts of Africa and Europe. And the stone tools which were made by the early humans we are finding it in Africa and Europe both. Stone tools such as pebbles, sharp stones, stone blades, etc., were used for various purposes in early human life. Okay, there were many purposes of the stone tools. Earlier, they used to make, they used to take one stone and at one point, at one point of the stone, they used to sharp it. Okay, only at one point, one end, sorry, and that stone they used to use as a weapon earlier. Then gradually they started filtering it gradually, when their hands, actually when the precision grip was there, because earlier they were like, if you have seen monkeys do not have such precision grip as such we have. So just imagine, we are talking about the time period around so many billion years ago. So at that time, the ape or the early humans, they were not having the precision grip. Their hands, their fingers were just folded, so they cannot hold anything uh, in a proper way. So if they cannot hold, they cannot make anything. Okay, due to which the tools were not made earlier. Okay, we'll read all the things in this chapter. Now, paintings found on the walls of the caves in Europe and Africa are helping us to understand early human history. Okay, as I have told earlier, through paintings also we get to know about the that what type of life they were leading. We'll discuss all these paintings, caves. This is, all these topics have been covered in this chapter. Now see, most scholars refuse to accept that these objects were the remains of early humans. Early, when they found skull, many of the scholars, they refuse to accept that, okay, accept this, and according to the Old Testament of Bible, human origin was an act of creation by God has created. Okay, so if we are if we are saying that that early humans would be surviving, then we are cross checking Bible. So it was a great issue at that time, but few years later the true significance of these finds were realized. Now they get to know that no, early humans were there, and we are have done the evolution phase, then we are like this. Okay, now how was the Neanderthal man skull discovered? How it was discovered? Okay, see, everything has a story. If we see the religious, um, any religious book, or everything has a story, so this is also having a story. Now see, in August 1856, a workmen who are quarrying for limestone, they were workmen who were quarrying for limestone, and in the Narinder Valley they found a skull. Okay, and that skull they gave to the schoolmaster over there, and he was a natural historian also. So he realized that no, the skull did not, after seeing that, he realized that the skull does not belong to the modern human. Okay, just think what, by seeing the skull, what would be the things, by that he could just analyze that this skull would be, much, is not of this time, that time it is of the early humans. Just think a while. Okay, see students, over there the skull basically, the skull would be, their brain would be large. Okay, their jaws would be protrude, means it should be outward by seeing their teeth. Okay, now he then made a plaster cast of the skull and sent it to Herman, a professor of anatomy at Boone University. The following year, that jointly published a paper claiming that skull represented a form of human that was extinct. Later on they published the paper, that, claiming that the skull represent a form of human that was extinct, and these copies, as I have told, 1250 copies were sold out in one day. Okay, because it was, in history it was a very, very great news for them that we are not, the creation of God. We are having our ancestors, but we are not aware of it. Now we have gone one step ahead of that. Okay, now at that time scholars did not accept this view and instead declared that the skull belonged to a person of more recent times, but later they accepted it and named it as Neanderthal man. As we all know that, whenever, some person or anyone, when he discovered or invents something, okay, on his name, that thing is basically named, or nearby that place. Suppose for example, in Harappan civilization, we why do we say Harappa civilization? Because Harappa was the first site to be discovered. Okay, that is why over here also, over, Nirandarthal Valley, it was found, the skull was found. That is why the name was given Nirandarthal man. Now the story of human evolution. What is the story? Between 36 million years and 24 million years, primates, a category of mammal, emerged in Asia and Africa. It is said that around these many years ago, primates were there. These primates are what? They are the categories of mammals. Okay, emerged in Asia and Africa. Primates are a subgroup of a large group of mammals. They are basically what? Subgroup. They include monkeys, apes, and humans. Okay, under primates, primates are what? Monkeys, apes, and humans. All are primates. Okay, they have body hair, a relatively long gestation period following birth, mammary glands, different types of teeth are there. We all have different types of teeth, canine, incisor, and the ability to maintain a constant body temperature. And we can also maintain the constant body temperature. Okay, these were the features. Between 24 to 5.6 Maya, there emerged a subgroup among primates. Now, see how the evolution is going through. From mammals, they were the subgroup primates. Then, from primates, they were the subgroup hominoids. Now, hominoids are different from monkeys in number of ways. See, over here, I want to tell student that whenever a group has a subgroup, okay, that subgroup is having the some characteristics of that group, and apart from that, some characteristics of its own. Okay, suppose A is the B is the subgroup of is under A. Okay, B is the subgroup of A. So B would be having the characteristics, some characteristics of A also, and apart from that, its own characteristics also. Okay, they have a larger body and do not have a tail. They have a larger body, they do not have tail. Besides, there is a longer period of infant development and dependency amongst hominoids. See, now what is the difference? Now hominoids are what? They are under, if we say under the monkeys, you can say, because monkeys are what, primates, they are under primates, so hominids would be under them. Okay, like you can say generation 1, generation 2. Okay, so they are having a large body and do not have tail. See, monkeys were having tail. Okay, but hominoids now they are not having tail. Besides, there is a long period of infant development. Okay, means now this I think so everyone would be aware that what is infant development. Like in females, we have we took females took 9 months to develop the infant. Okay, long period of infant development and dependency amongst hominoids. They were more dependent on each other. Okay, between 5.6 Maya and 1.8 Maya, hominids have evolved from hominids and share certain common features. Again, from hominids have been emerged. So, hominids they would be having some features of hominoids also and some features of its own. Okay, now see, what is the difference between hominoids and hominids? Hominoids have smaller brain. Just you can remember that this hominoids is an early man, and hominids you can just for a time being you can just correlate with us. Okay, they have a smaller brain than hominids. They have a bigger brain. Okay, as they are evolved, hominids are evolved from hominoids, so they would be having better features, better characteristics. Okay, like in mobile app also or in mobile phone also, if the mobile phone which has been launched or in 2000 and 2000 would be obviously having certain features, but the mobile which we are having which we are using now has other features also. So mobile what, it has been evolved. Okay, but the basic thing is same, that incoming and outgoing. Okay, it was just an example. Now they are quadrupedals. Hominoids, they are quadrupedals, walking on all four legs. Okay, now hominoids they have an upright posture. Now they can stand straight, but they can walk on their four legs also. But they can stand straight. And bipedal locomotion was there, walking on two feet. Okay, see, there is, when they are walking with four feet, four legs, they are not saving their energy. The energy has been wasted. But if we are walking bipedal locomotion, then we are saving our energy, and that energy can be saved and can be, consumed in some other way. Okay. Now they have flexible forelimbs and marked differences in the hand. Now their their forelimbs are very flexible. Why so? Because they used to jump from one tree to another tree. Okay, so their forelimbs were flexible, and but they have marked differences in their hands. As I have told you that they do not have any precision grip. Just their fingers were folded. Okay, now in hominids, they have flexibility in hand, leg, and fingers, which help them to make tools and weapons. Now, as evolution will occur, the fingers they will be the fingers will try to open themselves. Okay, so as soon as they'll try to open the fingers, then the flexibility of the hand will increase. Okay, now, hominids again are further divided into two branches, Australopithecus and Homo. Each of these in turn includes several species. Then again, this has many species. See, students, I have just taught you according to the NCERT. Okay, do not get confused by seeing the other names. Okay, the major differences between Australopithecus and Homo relate to the brain size, jaws, and teeth. Okay, the Australopithecus has smaller brain size. Now see again, it has evolved. So Australopithecus and Homo. So Australopithecus is, if you say, Homo has been evolved. So Australopithecus has smaller brain size, heavier jaw, and larger teeth than Homo. The difference is clear. Australopithecus comes from the Latin word austral meaning southern and pithecus means ape. So it is southern ape. Okay, Homo is a Latin word meaning men. Men, whenever we are talking, we are considering both men and women both. Now, the names assigned to these species are derived from what are regarded as their typical characteristics. Okay, now according to their characteristics, the name has been done. So fossils are classified as Homo habilis, okay, the tool maker, Homo erectus, the upright man, Homo sapiens, the wise or thinking man. Okay, now Homo sapiens are what? Tool maker. Now, as soon as their grip power is increasing, their fingers are now getting straight, and they can make tool. Okay, now Homo erectus is what? Now they are slowly and slowly they are up. They are getting straight because they have started the bipedal locomotion. So they are getting straight, and which would help them in hunting also. Because earlier I have told that the early people, they were scavenging. Okay, they were gathering. Okay, so in initial stage they have not starting hunting, but now what happens gradually when evolution took place, they started hunting also, as they were meat eaters also and vegetarians also. Okay, and one of the key feature, okay fine, I'll detail you in the next class. Now Homo sapiens, the wise or the thinking man. Okay, so wise are the Homo sapiens. Basically, we are Homo sapiens sapiens. See how we have evolved. Now we are very much wise. Okay, means now the Homo sapiens, they have the thinking ability. They can recall the things. Okay, they can, after recalling, means they get to know that okay, this day we have done this type of hunting, and in that day we have done that, and we have done this type of mistake. So from next day we will not do. Okay, so by this, today I would be ending my lecture. Okay, so I'll recapitulate it. Now, see, students, today we have studied evolution of humans. Okay, like from mammals, primates comes. In primates, monkey, apes, humans. Okay, then from primates, hominoids are there. Hominoids are what? Like apes. Then from hominids, one is hominids comes. All forms of humans are there. In hominids, all forms of humans. Now in hominids is Australopithecus. Sorry, it is not clear. It is according to the genus. It has been divided into Australopithecus, southern ape. Homo is man. Okay, now Homo has been divided into Homo habilis, tool maker, Homo erectus, upright man, and Homo sapiens, wise man. Okay, hope so this topic is clear to you all, students. I have a certain assignment also. Okay, fine. See, uh, now if just first question is, what are primates? Okay, now the second question, which sources enable us to understand the history of early human history? Again, I am repeating, please write it down. Which source enable us to understand the history of early humans? Now, third, name the book published by Charles Darwin. Okay, name the book published by Charles Darwin. Then fourth, differentiate between hominids and hominoids. You have to differentiate between them. Now, fifth, describe in brief the most distinctive feature of hominids. Describe in brief the most distinctive feature of hominids. Now, sixth, according to evidences, is known to is known that humanoids emerged from where? Asia, Europe, Africa, none of these. Now, these are certain questions, some questions I have given. Just please try to do this. Thank you. Have a nice day.